On this episode of Africans in Sports,
Festus Ezeli with the slam.
You get drafted to be one of the best players in the world to this up-and-coming, buzzing team, the Golden State Warriors.
I didn't even know, in that moment, I didn't know when I started crying. My mind couldn't comprehend what just happened. I'm the second Nigerian next to Hakeem to win an NBA championship. For me, what it meant was, nothing is impossible with God.
Nothing is impossible with God, man. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Africans in Sports. I'm super excited about this one right here. Y'all already know it's your boy Coach Ezeli. We're in Sacramento for my guy, the big man from Nigeria, Festus Ezeli. Festus, what's good, boy?
My dude, what's going on, bro?
How you living?
I'm good. Laying
What's
low,
up, man?
Sacramento, man. This is home.
This is home.
Yeah.
We got a different.
I've been blessed to have moved around a little bit.
We're gonna
This
get
is
into
home
that.
for now.
Okay, we're gonna get into that a little bit.
Home is where the family is, man. So
Exactly.
yeah.
It's where the heart is.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a restaurant that kind of means a little something to you. We're in Bork Restaurant in downtown Sacramento.
Yeah.
Why is this place significant to you?
This is a childhood friend of mine. This is his spot. Open six weeks now. And I just wanted to give him a shout out, man. Obviously, you see all the art on the wall. It's all about, things that mean a lot to us. So this is it's a fried chicken spot here in Sacramento downtown, and I just wanted to give him some love, man.
I bet. I'm gonna definitely make sure I get that fried chicken sandwich. Bro, you've lived a super interesting life, man. Just like you grew up or you were born in Benin City, Nigeria. That's interesting in itself. Like, tell me about what it's like growing up there.
Growing up in Nigeria and Benin, well, people have this idea of what Africa looks like, and I lived different than the stereotype. People think that we're running around naked. No, we didn't. I went to a school. I was lucky enough to have parents who they emphasized education, and so they put me in a school that had, I think the school was it was an international school, and so I learned a lot about different cultures early in this school. And so for me, being in Nigeria, learning about America, learning about the UK and Europe and everything, I think that was, my childhood was really blessed, man. I learned a lot.
Wow. When you say you learned a lot, what are some of those things that you learned while you were over there?
Yeah, this is funny. In grade school, Montessori, I was learning how to play the violin.
Oh, wow.
I don't play it anymore, but I'm saying at the time, yes. So things like that, they put me in all these different situations, which I don't know that I would necessarily have been in anywhere else.
Wow.
Which I ended up transferring to another school. And yeah, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. But growing up in Nigeria was great. I had obviously family. I got a big family. My dad is one of 12.
Oh, wow.
Mom's is one of 8.
Wow.
So I had a big family in that regards. I got siblings. I'm one of 5.
One of 5.
Yeah, I'm number 1.
How many brothers, how many sisters?
We got one sister, there's one girl in the house, man. So we all protect her.
Okay, that's what's up.
And she's right in the middle too. I got two boys and two boys after her. 2 boys before and 2 boys after. So we got a big family. I got close to all my cousins. All my my family is huge. I got hundreds of family members everywhere, all over Nigeria, all over the world.
So what was it like being raised in that household? Is it just a super traditional Nigerian upbringing?
Yeah, my parents did a really good job of teaching us the language, right? So we're Igbo, not originally, we are Igbo, from the Igbo tribe, and we lived in Benin, which is actually the Edo tribe.
Right.
And so easily you can be fooled to thinking, well, when people ask me where are you from, in Nigeria we usually say where we're from. Where my family's from is Anambra, and that's how we answer when you say where are you from over there. But here you say where you lived.
Okay.
In America.
Yeah.
So for us, when people ask me, I say I'm from Benin. People think I'm a Benin boy, which by osmosis, yes, but born and raised Igbo.
Wow.
So we know everything about the culture. We practice everything. Catholic household.
Okay.
My grandparents are super Catholic. They got a church in their house. They had a chapel in their house. But I was just blessed to grow up with my family, man, and to have those family values.
Okay. And there's a strong education push in there. And I know you were interested in the medical field growing up. Where did that lead you? Like, are you still into that stuff? Or I know you've become big in basketball, but are you still pursuing medical?
First of all, I came to America in search of better opportunity, right? So schools, education, anything, what have you. I had this idea of being a doctor.
Yeah.
In our family, the idea of going to school, right? Like if you go to school, you're going and coming out of it with a job, right? That's the whole point. You're investing in yourself. So when you think about education, you think about what you're coming out with. For us, it's always been, you have to come out with something that's for sure. And so I've been on the science track my whole life, all the way through high school. And when I came out here, my idea was, or the idea of my parents, was I would live with my uncle, who's a pediatrician here in California, Yuba City, about an hour away from here.
Okay.
And he would just teach me. He'd teach me about what it means to be a doctor, how the tracks, and just follow, shadow him, and just kind of follow in his footsteps. So that was my initial track.
Okay. What changed?
Basketball came into my life, man, and at the time, going into medicine was my love, and that's what I wanted to do. That's how I wanted to help the world and change things. I noticed that there was a big deficiency in healthcare in Nigeria. That's how I wanted to help people. Basketball came into my life. I started working on it, fell in love with basketball, and I just wanted to figure out a way to use that to help the world instead. I had a conversation with Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah, love him.
About that, and he just taught me. He said, and we and our conversation spanned across all the things he's done off the court.
Right.
Huge.
Yeah, nobody does it better.
Huge for Africa.
For sure.
Built hospitals. Thousands of doctors have been employed because of him.
Right.
And he's a basketball player.
Yeah.
So I could be one doctor in one hospital in one city, which I could make a lot of change that way, or I could work myself to my full potential and do what he's done and do it even bigger than what he's done. So that was always my train of thought and that reaction, my way to help people.
How often do you get back to Nigeria?
Well, I actually just came back from Nigeria last week. First time going back in 15 years since I've been in America.
Wow.
So I came here in 2004 on vacation. I've been on vacation for 15 years.
Whoa.
During that vacation, I got a degree, I got a job. That's what my former teammate friend now, Harrison Barnes, he always said it's the best vacation he's ever heard of. I got a degree, I got a job, I made friends, I went to school, all that. So it's my first time going back in 15 years, and it's always gonna be home.
Yeah.
It's home, and I would not take that experience. I wish I went back earlier and sooner, but there are things I had to take care of over here.
Tell me about that experience. What did it mean for you to go back home after all these years?
Man, there's so many different emotions. I can't really point to there's happiness, right? There's happiness to be back there because, man, I'm home. Like all my cousins and my family that I was so close to growing up, I get to see them. I got to reconnect with my grandma. My grandma's 90 years old. When I left, she was, in her 70s, and spry and moving around. Now she's a little sick and she's in bed. That was an emotional moment for me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Get to see, even the fact that I was able to do a basketball camp in Nigeria, a sport that I learned when I came to America. I knew nothing about the game.
Yeah.
I came here and I learned about basketball. Then I take that back home to these kids, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, the same age I was when I started learning how to play basketball. It's a blessing for me to be able to do these things. I don't ever take none of this journey for granted because it's almost like poetic. It's poetic in a way.
For sure.
That I'm able to come to America and live the American dream,
right,
and take some of that and share that with other people. It's a blessing, man. I keep saying that over and over, but I truly believe that.
Which part of that trip stood out to you the most?
Wow. That's, dang. I feel like if I say any one thing, there's so many different things that happen, man. Whether it's me hugging my grandma, my grandma didn't even recognize me.
Wow.
I go to her. The last time she saw me, I was a kid. I haven't seen her in 15, actually more than that, because I hadn't seen her for like a year or so before. So the last time she saw me, I was a kid. I was about 6'4", maybe 6'5".
Yeah.
Chubby kid. Now she sees this grown man, 6'11", standing at her door. It's like, who is this guy? He looks familiar. It's a very emotional moment, actually. Like, I'm so happy I did because I was sitting here, she looking at me, and she's like, man, who is this dude? Like, I know who he is. He looks familiar, but I can't tell who this person is. And my aunt, who's taking care of her, is like, it's Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi is my name in Nigeria, right?
Okay.
That's my first name. That's my actual legal first name. And so this is Ifeanyi, who went to America. He's son of my dad. She said his name, your grandson. And she said, what? You mean Ifeanyi that went to America and started playing basketball? Oh my gosh, she was like, she started screaming.
That's love.
'Cause, and I didn't even know, in that moment, I didn't know when I started crying. My mind couldn't comprehend what just happened. But first of all, I'm looking at my grandma who's frail and older, but at the same time, I'm so happy. Like, I'm so happy that I'm here, I'm back with her. Like, I'm back with my family after all this time separated. And it was really sad, it was really happy, it was really confusing.
Sound like a roller coaster.
It was like, so much stuff going on. I just started crying. I'm not even a crier. And in that moment, it's just like, man, she holding me like I'm a little kid again. I go back to that 14, 13, 12-year-old kid that used to hold my grandma, and she's just holding me. And in this moment, I forget, I'm 6'11", I'm 270, 260. And so I'm leaning on my grandma that's like frail, but she's holding me. She's holding me, and she's like, I got you. But one thing I made sure to let her know is, I got you, right? You are the one that motivates me. Our family legacy motivates me. Making sure that people understand that Nigerians are this thing motivate me. Whatever stereotype, people meet me all the time, they think, oh man, you're Nigerian, really? Like, because they have this idea of what it is to be Nigerian. And my job is to break those things and show them who we really are.
I love that. You mentioned your name. What is your full name, and what's the meaning of it?
My full name is Ifeanyi Chukwu Festus Ezeli Ndulue. So my first name, Ifeanyi Chukwu, is my first name given to me by my grandfather. They named me Festus Ezeli initially, and my granddad came in, and it was his right. It was like he wanted to give me a name, so he gave me Ifeanyi Chukwu. Ifeanyi Chukwu means nothing is impossible with God. And it was a prayer for me. It was a name. It was a life's mission and journey and all these things in one that he gave me. And till today, I continue to understand that he gave me a path with that name. So nothing is impossible with God.
How do you live your life on a daily basis, knowing that my name means nothing is impossible through God?
I think that it's one of those things that I think every once in a while, life is fun. Life is challenging. Life is a bunch of things.
Right.
There are ups and there are downs. I think that understanding your power comes in very handy when you're down, especially. Right?
So real.
And then understanding that that's what led you to the top of that mountain. So for me, in times when I have felt low or whatever, sitting there, my mom or my dad is talking to me like, yo, you know what your name means? And after that conversation, feeling fully energized because I know that there's nothing I can't overcome, right? You feel bad in this moment, you feel like it's the end of the world, and then next moment you just realize, you're like, yo, I'm still here. Nothing's impossible. I could turn this around. And so for me, I think it's me understanding that whatever journey I've been on, it is scripted for me. God gave me and trusted me with this journey, and my job is to make sure that I live it according to whatever, to the best of my ability.
Take me back to your youth, where that decision was made for you to come over to America. How did that even happen?
Me coming to America was not a decision. It wasn't planned. We came on vacation in 2004, and part of it was me celebrating graduating from high school. I graduated really early. And I tell
14,
people this
right?
story. Yeah, the people don't believe it. I mean, it is what it is. I graduated high school at 14.
Crazy.
Come to find out recently that I wasn't even the youngest one in my class.
Oh, for real?
There's a girl who was 13. Now she's 28.
Somebody had you beat.
And she's a doctor now.
Oh, wow.
Full doctor. Like,
what's up.
we start off early and we really push this thing called education. I'm really proud that we do that because just showing people that you don't have to stay in the box of what people provide. So it's good.
Okay. So you guys came over here, celebrated your graduation. Then what?
Celebrated graduation, I think at some point, so it was my first time meeting my uncle. My uncle had seen me for the first time since I was a kid. And during that time, he saw me, he saw how tall I was. Like, man, like maybe you should. We were walking around town, people were like, man, you play basketball? You play basketball? And as a 14, I didn't even know I didn't play any basketball. I didn't care about basketball. I didn't really care about sports. And my uncle was like, wow, maybe we should look into this. Talk to my parents about it. Maybe he should let him stay so he can try to figure out what basketball looks like and going to college out here and all those things. And so after we talked about it, like, wow, it actually would be a better opportunity for him to be in America and go to school and all these things. And it was a long conversation because it wasn't an easy conversation. I didn't say bye to my family or my people back home. I didn't, there was no plan. I had my 2 weeks worth of clothes here. It was one of those things where there's a deliberation back and forth. It was almost a flip of a coin for them to let me stay in America. And I'm glad they did because life changed.
Yeah.
Life changed for me.
So take me to high school. Moving over here, being in this brand new place that you've never been to, the language is different. What's that like?
Language is not different. We speak English in Nigeria. There's 350 different dialects in Nigeria. So if we didn't speak English, nobody would know what's going on.
Wow, okay.
So it's a very diverse country. We got people from everywhere. But we speak English mostly. Some people speak pidgin English, but it's all English.
Yeah.
And when I came here, I had this thick accent, and in an effort to try to blend in, because people couldn't really understand me. My accent was very thick. I was talking like, there's a lot of points. So, which I actually regret now because that was my uniqueness. But in an effort to, at the time, try to fit in, I would, listen, watch TV, and then, mimic whatever they were saying, try to, imitate them. And so over time, my accent got to evolve and then that's where I am now. So at the time, I watched a lot of TV. I was trying to assimilate. I was, trying to understand how do people work. I get introduced to the game of basketball. Yeah. I'm trying to learn this new game. I don't understand what's going on. There's three-man weaves. There's layup lines. I don't understand none of the terminology. It's just madness. And people, they coined this thing about me and said, well, he can't chew gum and walk at the same time. Well, it wasn't that. I didn't know what the heck was going on.
Yeah.
So you're teaching a 15, 16-year-old kid basketball as if he were 5 years old.
Right.
So for me, it was hard adjusting to the culture. It was really bad. My first basket was against my own team.
Oh, wow.
Right? So I was a project, not like a joking project. I was like, people were laughing at me, like, yo, what are you doing? Like, who is this dude, man? He doesn't know what he's doing.
You scored the bucket on the wrong goal.
I didn't know at halftime you switch ends. So I got the rebound and put it right back up. Yeah. And these are all the things that I'm so happy we laugh about this stuff now, because at the time I'm sitting there as a kid like, man, I can't do anything right. I finally do something, I feel like I did something, and then, but to today, I hold on to that story because it shows like you literally can do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to. Nothing's impossible with God. I played in the NBA, man. Yeah. With a story like that. Think about that. Like it's not. I don't know. It's not scripted for me. Man. This life has been. It's been beautiful.
You're raw, but it's coming along, and now you get drafted to be one of the best players in the world, to this up and coming buzzing team, the Golden State Warriors. Take me on your journey through this team that's kind of figuring out who they are right now, and you're a rookie.
Now we're not just going to go past that. Like, dude, I couldn't play ball 6 years ago. They told me I couldn't play ball 6 years ago. 6 years. I am one of the best in the world. I don't know if I'm one of the best in the world, but I'm drafted. I'm part of the group.
It makes you one of the 400 something that's best in the world.
Man, that's a testimony in itself. What does it mean for me I'm the second Nigerian next to Hakeem to win an NBA championship. Like, I don't, like, there's so many things I can name as to like, oh, this is great, this is amazing, this is a huge monumental moment. But for me, what it meant was, nothing's impossible with God.
Nothing is impossible with God, man.
And so, for me to be able to share that story and to tell people, listen, don't just listen to my story. Listen to the story of the Golden State Warriors. You think they're great now? I went on a trip with my brothers last year. We were in Germany. People wearing Golden State Warriors Steph Curry jerseys. People recognize me like, oh, Festus, me. Like I couldn't, like what?
You were important to that,
Festus.
man.
So for me, it tells a story. I think that's so important because I think people, when they go through their valleys, they forget that there's a peak coming after.
Right.
Like how you handle it is so important. And then when you're in your peak, you got to also realize that you got to pull somebody else up.
Right.
Your reaction to your journey could change somebody else's trajectory. So that's kind of how I look at journey now. So for me, what does it mean to win an NBA championship? It just added more to the story, added more to the book. I'm writing a book, man.
Yeah.
Like every day I wake up, it's a book. I'm putting a new chapter on. What am I doing today?
Yeah.
Who am I loving today?
Yeah.
What am I working on? What's the next step? So, how good was the book when your life is over? How good was that book that you wrote?
I love that. If you can give advice to a young Nigerian boy who has dreams of being this NBA player, what do you say to him?
The way I see it, when you have a dream in your head, it's God sending you something beforehand to let you know that it's yours. Right? So it's a proof sent to you by God beforehand to let you know that it's yours. You just got to live into it and step into it. Now, how hard it's going to be to get there? I don't know. How much you got to work? How many people are going to doubt you and laugh at you on the way? Who you got to sit behind for a couple years to wait for your turn to get there? What you got to divert away from and what you got to avoid and sacrifice? But what I do know is when you have a dream and you're willing to pay the price for it, it's possible. If you don't believe me, look at my story.
Man, this has been amazing, bro. For Festus Ezeli, I'm Coach Easy. This is Africans in Sports. We out of here, baby.
On the next episode of Africans in Sports.
Back when I was young, I missed that. Like, we played for hours. We didn't even know what time it was. Call my name against the Galaxy right now. He told me to go play. I'm like, I'm about to pee my pants right on site. I went crazy. They picked me up, like, made me feel like I was just won the World Cup.